Ah, yes. Yes, yes. All right, guys. Trailer's dropping in a few minutes. Let's watch it together. Why not? Let's have a watch party, old school style. We don't have any copyright claims currently on YouTube, so we can do a live watch party on YouTube of a trailer and watch us get hit with a copyright strike. So we won't be able to do this for another 3 months, and we're gonna end up on Twitch anyway. So let's just do it. This is Shin Megami Tensei 5. I haven't played any of the games. I have no idea what it's about. I've only seen a handful of trailers so far. So please keep it spoiler free, keep it friendly, keep it nice. Let's have some fun. Don't spoil it for anybody. We're all friends here. So here we are on YouTube once again after spending the last, I don't know, maybe almost year on Twitch, getting partnered on Twitch, becoming a thought on Twitch. I like to call myself a thought. It empowers me. So yeah. This trailer is gonna drop in like 10 minutes. So let's just all get cozy. Let's grab our snacks. Let's all be friendly. Let's be shameless and actually plug it. You know what? Could you guys do me a favor? No, wait, don't do me a favor. That's kind of bad. Just stay where you are. I don't wanna be that. So I'm sort of chilling here on the chat. Good times. I only got a notification for this like 30 minutes ago. They didn't even tell me. I had absolutely no notification that this was happening. I'm even on Atlas's mailing list. It's not an affiliate, but it's like part of the press. I kind of joined up that for a few companies I like their games. I've joined Capcom. I've joined what's it called, Kojima Productions, Atlas now as well, because they produce Persona and all that stuff. So I've joined the mailing list. I've joined the mailing list and stuff for Spike Chunsoft. So I'm supposed to be getting a heads up on this stuff, but as you know, like 30 minutes ago, they're like, "Oh, we got a new trailer coming out," and I'm like, "It's the middle of a work day." So it is what it is. It is what it is. As you can see, I haven't even shaved. So, working from home. And yes, YouTube stream flashback, good times. But we are sitting on Twitch now. That gives us a tad more copyright protection than YouTube because we're partnered now. So that's the one good thing about being a Twitch thought. We actually get a degree of protection. Play Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, it's Shin Megami. Why did I say Shin Megumi? Shin Megami. Tensei, like Nocturne or Strange Journey. I've heard of Nocturne. People were requesting it. I just didn't jump into it because there's a lot of good games we're waiting for, and then people are like, play Nocturne, and then they're like, play 5. And I get the feeling if we started playing Nocturne, we wouldn't be able to play 5. And plus, we're also playing Persona 5 Strikers at the same time. So, okay. So I'm even gonna ask them, which game should people start with? Because, like, many of us here are 100% new. So I'm being that person, I'm asking them. Did you hear about Persona 25th anniversary announcement? What was the announcement? There's a lot of anniversaries happening now. Metal Gear Solid's 34th anniversary was yesterday. I know Persona's 25th was, I believe, 2-3 days ago. All that sort of stuff. Funny how Super Mario World ROM hack got me into Meg 10 series. SMT4 Nocturne IV. You just picked ×3 games. Lol. Pick one. I'm being serious. People are like, play SMT3, 4, or 5. I'm like, dude, that's 5. That's 3 games. You should only be able to recommend one. Just wait for SMT5. 7 projects. What, you mean? I don't know. 7 new Persona projects coming for 25th anniversary. They could be talking about DLC. They could be talking about spin-off. And I hope to God they're not talking about mobile games. Because that seems to be quite, you know. SMT 4? Okay, I'll ask my chat. Chat, 1 sec. All right, they're saying SMT 4 is where people should start playing SMT. Is that true or not? Is that true or not? Because you guys were saying Nocturne last time. You guys were saying SMT 3. These guys are saying SMT 4. Who's right? That's the real question. And of course, I'm popping in energy drink because I was in the middle of a work day and I need it. Oh, shit. I've got 2 chats up. Why do I have 2 chats up? Sorry about that. I had both the Twitch and the YouTube chat up at the same time. How did I do that? I don't freaking know. I apologize. People are hoping for P1, P4 ports for all consoles. A HD collection wouldn't be bad. I'm sure people would buy it. They could do it Devil May Cry Metal Gear Solid style. Do P1, 2, 3, 4 on a HD collection. That would make sense. And if they were doing a HD collection like that, they could port it across for PlayStation. It would make sense. Nocturne is a fan favorite. 4 is a smoother experience. Okay. They say reply was any truth? Hopefully a new Persona game, Persona 6 or P3 remake. I heard that they said that they're gearing up for Persona 6 development. That doesn't necessarily mean they're starting it soon, but they're gearing up for it. They're gearing up. That could mean that they're taking a look at who they have in the company and, you know, who could write story, who could do design, who can direct and all that sort of stuff. Easiest. Way smoother. Okay. New anime? Anime is always a good way to get something out there. You guys know that I got into Danganronpa through the Danganronpa anime. I watched the Danganronpa anime and I was like, this is interesting. So I rewatched it. And this was interesting. And then I ended up just like looking up the game, which was only available on PSP at the time. And so I started watching Nico B's playthrough, and that got me into the series. And then I was debating whether or not I should try find it on PSP and play it. And then they announced the Steam version, the PC version. And then as soon as the PC version came out, I played it. And then I really got into it. And then I actually reached out to Nico B and I'm like, hey man, you've played Danganronpa 2. Would you recommend it? And he's like, fuck yes! And I'm like, oh, okay. You actually replied. And this was a couple of years ago when he was on 30,000 subscribers, by the way. So at the time, he's smaller than we are now. And there I am, like a fucking random guy with 1,000 subs going, hey dude, you've played this. Would you recommend it? He's like, yes! I'm like, oh, okay. Fucking good times. And then here we are. Here we are. Danganronpa 2, Danganronpa 3 anime, Danganronpa V3, Ultra Despair Girls, all of the things. Good stuff. Persona 6. Oh man, I haven't even seen Persona 5 anime. I wouldn't mind watching it though. You guys are saying I should grow my beard? I think if I let my hair grow a little bit, I can grow a beard. But if I don't let my hair grow, it will just look weird. By the way, Hutchins started watching Breaking Bad, so like all the beards are in style. I should just shave my head. My first real Shin Megami Tensei game was actually Shin Megami Tensei 1 for the Super Nintendo. It wasn't Super Nintendo. And despite it being a not good way to get into Megami Tensei according to fans. The irony of the first game not being a good way to get into the franchise. The irony. The irony. The sheer irony. Wow, people are spamming the shit out of this chat. So much spam. Wow, Jesus. They're fucking up the chat, that's for sure. Can I go full screen on this? Oh, it's 2 minutes for them to officially begin. Hurry up! Okay, I'm gonna bring... Is this a good place for someone... Wait. Can... As a first-timer, can you jump straight into SMT5? Or do you need to play the others first? I'm just going to pose the question. I'm just poking. I'm just poking for people to be like, oh my god, a first-timer. Oh. Well, I didn't expect to either. I just got an email 30 minutes ago from fucking Atlas telling me that their trailer's coming out in 30 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for the notice. 30 minutes. GG. And so I figured if I'm going to do a reaction to the trailer, I might as well do it straight away. And if I'm going to do it straight away, I might as well just do this because we haven't done it in forever. So here we are. Here we are. I need to double check that I'm not accidentally streaming to Twitch because if I am, I'm technically breaching the agreement because I am a partner. No, I'm not. Good. 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 Twitch is so picky about that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm spamming Kumas. They're spamming geckos. I'm spamming Kumas. Nah, fuck it. It's too laggy. Not worth it. I actually want to know the same answer, so thanks, Kuma. Apparently, people are saying that 3 is a fan favorite, 4 is an easy one to get into, but people are saying you should just be able to get into 5. And I'm kind of like, so, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It seems like every SMT game has its own story. So the protag in 5 is going to school and then boop, he's ported into the demon world and he has to deal with things as they come along. So I'm only guessing that 3 and 4 are the same way and 1 and 2. In which case you could technically get into any of them, but you know what I mean? Not all are created equal. So, you know. I was weirded out that this is actually a guy. I was weirded out that this is actually a guy. It looks so... Oh, here it comes. This should be fun. Alright, this should be fun. I'm such a child. I'm such a child. I'm a child. I apologize for nothing. I'm sorry, YouTube does this on purpose. YouTube does this on purpose. I put the volume down a little bit. I'll try not to talk during the trailer, and then I'll have a quick talk afterwards, okay? Deal? I'll try not to talk during the trailer, but then I'll talk afterwards. Is that a deal? Is that cool? We're cool with that? Alright, we're cool with that. That way I can just take it all in. Yeah, I know Persona is a spin-off. It's the same way that Devil May Cry was a spin-off from Resident Evil 4. But at the same time, you gotta acknowledge that both of them have their own existence. So, I'm not gonna say I love Resident Evil more than Devil May Cry, or I love Devil May Cry more than Resident Evil. The same way I'm treating Persona as and SMT as their own things. So I don't want to mix it up. So I'm treating them independently. That's the only way for me to be fair. That being said, I know F all about SMT. So, I'm scared every time I say SMT, I'm going to say an acronym for some BDSM thing. I'm just, yeah, it's edging close to that. Alright guys, let's do it. Sexual themes, love it.
あなたは十分に私に手を差し伸べてくれた。でもそれを払いのけたのは私。
正しい道を進むには力が必要だ。
神の禁じた力か。
ほら見て、東京が終わっていく。
I don't like tentacles in any anime. I'm scared. Especially schoolgirls and tentacles. Do not
僕らがトンネルに飲み込まれた後、東京に一体何が起こったんだ。
悪魔が住む魔界と化した。そして悪魔たちは人の魂を奪おうとして襲ってきているの。
東京を守るために戦う。それがベテルの日本支部、すなわち我々というわけだ。
It's Jetstream Sam.
神の禁じたナホビノとなる力か。どこの誰がもたらした力か知れぬが、その技我らのために使ってもらうぞ。
ベテルの定めし秩序を胸に戦え。神とそれを信じるベテルの者たち、今でもその秩序を守ろうとあがいておる。死んでくれ。
アリス
悪魔から東京を守るのは絶対に正しいことだ。迷わず自信を持ってできるよ。
You had me at Alice. Did you stab the schoolgirl or did you
これ
stab
までの
someone
襲
else?
撃による被害は甚大だ。
僕は平和に過ごす人々を守るためベテルに協力していたんだが、彼を巻き込んでしまった。俺やっぱり無理だ。
東京を守ることかね。
私は君が人間のために行動しているのだと思っていたのだが、それは間違いか。
汝がそれをなぜ。この声も言っていたじゃないか。
Sam 2.0.
神々が見守る新しい秩序を作り出そう。
神の決めた定めに苦しめられてきた子羊をもう耐える必要はない。
俺甘く見てた。戦うってことを。
ごめんね。
Is that
あなたがこんな
Lucifer?
に思い詰める前に私が何とかできれば。お願い、これ以上罪を重ねないで。
Oh, I'd say multiple wings. That's probably Lucifer. Ooh, that was a good story trailer. And you've got a tree. Is that representing the tree of life, or is it just like an arbitrary tree that I'm overthinking and overanalyzing because I'm me? That was pretty good. No, honestly, pretty good. Pretty good. Loved Jet Strip. What?
If you're a subscriber of
No, Clems! Bad Clems! Bad Clems! Loved Jetstream, Sam, Alice, and Lucifer. Plus that Ninja Gaiden 1 opening. Bam! 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 I'm pasting that in here. And I'm liking my own comment, which is the equivalent of a dog licking its balls. I'll be honest. I'm a fanboy when it comes to anything related to, I'm not going to say demonology, but sort of religion and that sort of thing. The reason I jumped into Supernatural was because I'm totally into folk tales and all those legends and stories. And then as soon as they went into the realm of, you know, demigods and the apocalypse and, you know, archangels and demons and horsemen, and that was totally up my alley. So for me personally, that's the type of shit I was into ever since I was a kid. Especially being Orthodox Christian, grew up in a Christian household, forced to go to like, church thing on Friday nights where I learnt about religion and, I turned into a little shit. So totally up my alley. Second, I did enjoy Persona 5, Persona 5 Royale, Persona 5 Strikers. I never played Persona 5, but I played the other two. So I'm somewhat familiar with the Personas. I know that they're different from their Persona counterparts, but I at least know their names. And I love Alice for the memes because she has teddy bears, and who doesn't love teddy bears? At the same time, as soon as I saw that giant demon, let's say demon, with multiple wings and the shade of skin, I automatically was like, that's got to be Lucifer. That's got to be Lucifer. So any type of game that's talking about, I don't know, demonic invasion on the human plane and has archangels and things like that, if they stick somewhat close to, source material, whether it be Judeo-Christian or whatever other religion they want to pluck story elements and characters from, I'm totally behind that because I'm a fan of that shit. I have been for a long time. That's what really got me excited about what's going on in Persona, because we spent countless hours grinding Personas, and I loved reading the little bios for them. Because a lot of them I'm familiar with, but at the same time I was learning a lot about different ones from, other religions and whatnot. And so every time I make a friend from another country or something, I just we somehow end up in that rabbit hole talking about religions and deities and apocalypse times and legends and what's going on. That's like totally up my alley. So that's an element that I really like. If SMT is something that incorporates that very well into like a story element and gives these, let's say entities or characters a spot in the storyline who you can interact with, and they sort of stay true to who they are, somewhat. We're talking about fictitious characters, but you get what I mean. If they stay somewhat real to the source material, I'd fucking love that. I'd love that, because that's the type of crap I'm into. That is what I got to ask. Now, I'm going to start looking at the comments, and I'm going to start from the ones all the way on the top, because I don't want to get spoiled, because I haven't played the game. So please, people that can, clean up any spoilers, because obviously I haven't played the game, don't want to be spoiled. We'll slap you if you try to spoil. I am the bug inside you. Bugs, love it. It looks very interesting so far, and I'm excited for the game to come out. Fair enough. Day 1 LP. Jury's still out. I'm still thinking about it. Jury's still out. It's piqued my interest, I will be honest. Jury's still out only because there's a few games coming out that are must-plays for us. Danganronpa S being one of them, obviously. AI Somnium Files sequel, obviously. We're about to play 13 Sentinels soon. And we're about to play World Enders game, which we received. So there's a few things that we need to play. We're wrapping up Near Replicant this week, luckily. So that opens up an anime slot. So Jury's still out. I'll get back to you guys on that one. It's got my interest. So let's focus on the discussion and see if you guys can make the sale. You're going to love Shin Megami Tensei series if you're into myths and religion. See, now you're helping make the sale. See what I mean? That's salesmanship right there. Fear God and give him glory, for the hour of his judgment is upon you. You sound like my priest. Well, not my priest. I don't have a priest. But you sound like the teachers in my high school that were like trying to instill the fear of God into me. Didn't really work. Alice is the best. I like that. What I like about, if anyone's actually watched Supernatural, Alice gives me Lilith vibes. You know when Lilith is in the form of a little girl? And she's this like little 8-year-old, 10-year-old, I don't know how old she is, but she's like this little girl that's possessed by Lilith, and she's effectively keeping the entire family hostage, And then she's just like, comes up to the parents in the kitchen that are discussing their girl being possessed, and the grandpa's like, she's not a little girl, she is possessed. And then she comes in drenched in blood, and she like hugs her dad, and he's like, what's that? And she's like, I forget what her dog's name was, but like, oh, he was being mean to me, so I killed him, like, little girl drenched in blood, possessed by so good. So That's the vibes that Alice gives me, particularly considering the amount of power that she has, and that she's got a legion of, you know, teddy bears that explode at her command. She gives me vibes that she's sort of at that level. So I totally, yeah, you know what I mean. I'd love to see what kind of interactions an entity like that has in a game like this. You know, it just opens this whole door of possibilities. Alice is Ultimate Death Arcana, I believe. Yeah. Well, she was in Persona. I don't know what they do in SMT, but in Persona 5, you have to basically, like, you know, bang the goth chick that sells drugs to people in order to unlock her. And then to unlock her, you have to sacrifice, you know, Neburos and I believe Lilith at some point or something like that. So she's pretty high on the food chain, I'd say. SMT and Persona series seem to have great choices for your preferences. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. In more ways than one. Chihuahua. Where is Mara? You know what F's me up? Apparently Mara is a fertility symbol. And apparently Mara had daughters which she tried to marry off. And it's like, what? I would research the source material, but I'm very much afraid. Question: have you ever heard of the video game Prototype? I have. SMT plucks from literally every religion, like all of them. A lot of side quests normally focus on a specific demon's lore. Faux lack of a better term, yeah, it's right up your alley. You make a convincing pitch, Joshua. You make a convincing pitch. Neo, the world ends with you. Kuma, AI isn't till next year. Fair. 13 Sentinels hype. Good. Happen, Damien. Ooh, comment's been deleted. Alex Mercer is the best. Who is that? Meanwhile, me just waiting for 13 Sentinels. I know, there's a lot of stuff for us to play. Part-time streamer, YouTuber. I spent my evenings editing and my weekends playing. Please bear with me. I'm uploading stuff to 2 channels. I'm uploading more content than some full-timers, so please bear with me. I still work a 9 to 5. I am technically on my lunch break now. SMT especially dives into multiple religions and mythologies with their angels, demons, and other historical mythological characters. I like the sound of that. I'm excited to see how Kuma will react to the alignment system from SMT. I heard that you need to combo up the enemy's weaknesses in order to get multiple attacks. But being me, I just exploit the shit out of any system I get my hands on. Like, if I can, I stack the XP chips until we become as gods. Should we tell Kuma that the teddy bear thing was only in P5? Can I at least get bugs in that case? I want bugs. Bugs is Persona only. Ah, oh, come on! Why? That's not fair. I think Mara tried to tempt the Buddha with his daughters but failed. Tempt. The former artist of the Shin Megami Tensei series, Kazuma Kaneko, I probably butchered that, is heavily into the occult and I think also did some art for DMC3. Well, I certainly hope the guy doing art for a game like this and Devil May Cry is somewhat into the occult. Any interest in playing Persona 4 Golden after all the more immediate must-play games? So, I'm interested, but I don't want to do it yet just because we've played Persona 5 Royale and Strikers, and Persona 5, how many streams did it have? More than a year's worth. Like, Persona was being streamed for more than a year. So it kind of, for the past 2 years, Persona has taken up the anime slot for 75% of the time. So I want to give a little bit of room for other games before we go into another Persona game. Simply because they're so massive. They're so thick. Like, they're thick cheesecake that you need to drink water with. Otherwise, you will literally drown in the thickness. So, yes, interested, but not yet. So, yeah. You might want to play video game Prototype. What does this have to do with SMT? Not really making a sale there. The fun thing about SMT is that the demons are actual characters. Some major, some minor, but they're not sidelined like in Persona. Now that makes me more interested. Because that's totally up my alley. That's one of the things I absolutely love about Devil May Cry. Don't get me wrong, I get that it's a hack and slash and a lot of the demons and whatnot that you meet are very minor characters, but the fact that you get to interact with things like Cerberus, Reapers, Angels, and things like that is totally up my alley, like 100% of the time. Even if the interactions are very minor, I like the fact that they're in there because I'm like, oh, fuck, Guardian of the Underworld, huh? How's it going, buddy? You know, I like to see how they go. Keep up the good work on videos. Thank you. Much appreciated. Emphasis on patiently. Well, you know what they say about patience being a virtue. Honestly, I have no idea where this story would go, but it really looks interesting. That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing when you don't know. That adds a lot of flavor to the excitement. I'm just trying to get a vibe for how the series typically operates without so much getting spoiled. You know what I mean? I want to have a little bit of a sample and hear the ins and outs before I sort of dive into the deep end. Kaneko is the main character demon designer from SMT. Did the Devil Trigger designs for DMC3. DMC3 Devil Trigger designs was something that, if I can be honest, hasn't really grown on me, simply because I really like the designs from DMC1, especially Sparta and Alistair, because I think they had that very bulky, sharp, dark, gothic sort of armor look that gave them presence, whereas DMC3 was more sort of like the lean, slick, sort of, you know what I mean? And so, you know, when Sparta rocks through the door with those massive horns and bulky armor, you're like, shit, this guy's about to kick down the door and kick some ass. And then you sort of see the more slender, smooth Dante and Virgil designs from DMC3, and I'm kind of looking at it like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Fair enough, but, you know, Kazuma Kaneko made the Devil May Cry 3 Devil Trigger designs, and in return, Dante came into Nocturne in the Manax version of Nocturne. Ah, so that's how that deal went down. I can imagine that. It's like, hey man, we need you to do like a few designs for DMC. It's like, all right, I will, on the condition that he comes into our universe. Yeah. And then like Capcom's like, wait, so you want to give our game a free shout out in your game? Sure. If you're going to continue the Persona games, I suggest playing Persona 3 and then Persona 4 Golden. When it comes to the next Persona game, it will definitely be up to a vote on Discord, simply because it's always split between Persona 3 and Persona 4. And, you know, if I pick one and don't pick the other, I'm going to get shit. If I pick one and over the other, I'm going to get shit. So I'm literally going to open up to a vote, and whichever one wins the vote wins. And then it's not actually up to me, so you can't blame me. So that's how I'm going to do it when I do it. Hello, came very late. All good, buddy. Better late than never. Kuma, have you heard the game's music? SMT? No. Rei do Kuzunoha be pimpin'. Yes. Pimpin' be good. Senor Kuma. I need a sombrero. Will you do reactions for the 25th anniversary of Persona? Saludos from Mexico. Oh, sup, buddy? Link it to me really quickly in Discord and I can check it out later on today. Knowing that some of the people who worked on SMT also worked on DMC really helps explain how they got Dante into SMT3. It wouldn't be a tall order to get a demon hunter into a game about demons trying to take over the world. I mean, let's be real. It makes sense. SMT gave a lot of the enemies more personality relating to their lore as opposed to Persona where the main characters have more focus. That is true. Personas are kind of like Pokemon in Persona, where, you know, gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all. And you get the little bio and you get the cutesy sound every time they do their attack, and then they do the Pikachu, use thunder attack sort of thing. Other than that, you don't get a lot. Me waiting for more Kingdom Hearts 2, Persona 6 is out. Me, fuck! Kuma, wait for the Royale version of Persona 6, so we might get at least Kingdom Hearts done. I still have to edit out Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. I'm working on it. Just that exporting 4K videos, because everything we stream is in 4K now, is a bitch. Because, you know, it's thick. So it takes 4 times longer to export than bloody 1080p. But, you know, quality over quantity. I'm not compromising on quality after you guys bought me a goddamn PlayStation 5. I'm gonna record it in 4K. What's your favorite DMC game? Ooh! Now it's gonna be 5, and you could probably guess why. Because I'm a Virgil fanboy. Just look at my trailer reaction to Virgil being announced. You saw that. You saw that. You saw that. I got into Japanese weapons because of Virgil. I probably indirectly ended up dating Hutchun because of DMC3. You know, first it was DMC3 and the katanas, then I somehow ended up in Kendo, wanted to do Iaido, then I somehow got, you know, stuck in the whole culture, and then next thing I know, I'm dating Japanese girls. It just is what... Okay, be careful, she's actually here. I said girls, plural, not singular. But you get my point. In terms of atmosphere, if Persona felt like JoJo... Oh, here we go. With high schoolers and somewhat serious themes, SMT feels like Evangelion and Devilman had a baby raised by every religion's book of scriptures. I don't know Devilman, but I do know Evangelion. And Evangelion was a mindfuck, especially considering how I like to understand everything that happens. And the end of Evangelion resulted me in staying up for 3 days straight reading anime forums and trying to get closure on what the fuck I just saw. Just get in the goddamn Avis, Shinji. It's not so fucking hard. You have the power of God. I don't know what I want to do with it. Oh, God fucking damn it. Anyways, the 25th anniversary stuff doesn't come till this, September. Just link it in Discord, reaction request, and I'll look at it. Also, that reference in the chat about Raidyu Kuzunoha is a reference to the main protagonist from the SMT spin-off, which people argue if he's canon to the Persona timeline, he appears in Nocturne too. Given how, I don't want to say it's spoilers, but given how there's somewhat of a multiverse when it comes to Persona 5 and Royale, it wouldn't surprise me if SMT has somewhat of like a multiverse thing where, you know, there's multiple realities and timelines that you can hop through because, you know, things aren't linear. Favorite DMC game is DMC3. Oh man, that's a favorite for a lot of people. It was mine for the longest time until DMC5 came out. And like I said, DMC5 is purely because of Virgil. And it's probably because I played DMC3 for like 200 hours. So I've played a lifetime's worth. She gets too much hate. Come on. I'm not going to pull the pin on that hand grenade. Raidyu is the Joker for SMT, always appearing in any important game of SMT. Right, when you said Joker, I thought Joker from Batman. Just because, you know, big boots to fill. But, yeah, I get it. But from my understanding, Persona just has different protagonists. And Joker's just flavor of the month, and he's going to disappear when Persona 6 gets out. Let's face it. Right here for Joker. What do you think of the Nocturne remake? I haven't played it. I don't know the story. How can I comment? My only thought was that I thought it was a remake. I didn't realize that it was a HD release, meaning that the gameplay itself and all the mechanics are the same. It's not remade, it's just a re-release. So that's sort of my comment. I kind of expected it to be a remake, not a re-release. A geek is talking a lot now. Well, I am sort of a geek in a sense. I like knowing things. Not in the sense that I wear glasses and I'm geeky, but like I'm inquisitive. Yeah. I'm the type of person that likes to know how things work. I started tinkering with computers in high school. Like when I started high school, I didn't have a computer. I never used a computer. I had no idea. I ended up getting a Warcraft 3 CD, putting in an old computer and thinking, why the fuck is it not working? And I had to learn about what RAM and CPU and graphics card and all that is so that I could eventually buy a computer so I could play games. And then I realized how expensive it was, so I learned how to fix my own computer. And because, you know, viruses, being a high schooler and not knowing how to, you know, not download all of the things, ended up building my own systems. And by the end of high school, I was in the Department of Education in Australia, one of the best IT students in high school in Australia. Yeah, so my school literally gave some of my notes to the Department of Education, which they used as sample notes for kids getting a high school education for IT. So, yeah, that's my inquisitive nature. Where was I think my favorite DMC is DMC 5 with how well they handle the characters and story and the fun and engaging gameplay. Oh yeah, DMC 5, lots of love. Yeah, Virgil is also my favorite character in the series, and I was also happy when it was playable DMC 5. We had V, but it wasn't the same. Yes. And we all bought the special edition version just to play him. Though Virgil in SMT would be a very interesting thing, because he could be both no, I wouldn't say protagonist, but like a side character or an antagonist. That would be fun. No, I gotta say, if Virgil is in SMT, the protagonist is absolutely fucked. Because Virgil does not fuck around. He does not fuck around. Though it would be funny that if you're playing SMT and there's a sequence in hell, you're sort of like somewhere, and in the background you just see Dante and Virgil killing demons. Like, you don't have to interact with them, but they're just like killing demons infinitely. That would just be fun in the background. Like, you're doing this whole series of quests and stuff, and in the background is just fucking Dante and Virgil killing demons. They've got this whole Legolas Gimli thing going on with who kills more. I love it. I love it. I love it. The dick-waving tournaments. Alright, trust me, Persona has a very linear timeline. It's just Raidu and characters from his series was referenced in Persona and SMT timeline. Yet for every alignment, there is 3 games that follow. When you say alignment, do you mean timeline? Because I'm starting to go like, maybe I misunderstood what you meant by alignment. As a multiverse in Shin Megami Tensei, it's named the Amala Network. Sometimes some characters tend to appear in other universes that aren't theirs. So there's ways to travel from one to the other, or is it just a different iteration of them in that universe? Because is there hopping in between, or is it just a what-if scenario? Like, what if Jesus wasn't nailed to a cross, you know? Or what if the flood never happened? Or what if Epstein actually killed himself, you know? Shin Megami Tensei is basically Persona 0. It's supposed to be an alternate universe of Shin Megami Tensei 1 where the apocalypse didn't happen and anything after IF is the Persona timeline. Really? So, Shin Megami Tensei 1, apocalypse happens, but the Persona timeline, and I'll call it timeline because franchise, whatever the fuck, is basically if it didn't happen. So you have Apocalypse, yes. SMT. Apocalypse, no. Persona. Am I getting this right? This talk is really interesting. Well, it's interesting for me because, you know, you piqued my interest. So, you know, keep making the sale, guys. It's actually working really well. Virgil is an awesome character and definitely one of my favorite. Okay, let's steer the conversation towards SMT because I'm worried if we keep digging into the DMC thing, we're going to hit spoiler territory. In the SMT mobile game, oh god. Mobile games. Okay, carry on. And in the SMT mobile game, they also cross over with Bayonetta, Guts from Berserk, and Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't played Bayonetta. I haven't watched Berserk, but I've heard bits and pieces. The fuck is with Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't think we're ever getting DMC back then again, lol. Nintendo got DMC3. I get doing something with Ambios. Man, DMC got into Nintendo so they could get into Smash. And after Dante being weak, the only reason Dante is a Mii costume is so Virgil can come in and steal the show. I'm telling you now. Virgil and Sephiroth are going to go at it. I'm telling you. There is going to be a Smash announcement at some point. And just like Devil May Cry 5's trailer, you're going to see the background of reality just start to crack like glass. And everyone's going to be like, Nanandayo. And then the glass is going to crack. And then Bury the Guilt is going to start playing. And it's just going to be this massive blue aura in the background. And you're just going to have Virgil do an entrance like he did in Devil May Cry 5. It is going to happen. You cannot convince me otherwise. And if it doesn't happen in my timeline, I'm grabbing my sniper rifle and going to Japan. Did I miss a few things? Oh god, the comments are going nuts. I might have to scroll a little bit. Kuma, do you want to react to Dante interest in SMT3? No, because I might play the game. Even though Catherine doesn't see Megan 10, the series SMT comes from, Kuma would be very much love Catherine. It's really good. Are we talking about Catherine in full body? because this is a game that people have been asking me to play, yet when they had the opportunity to vote for it, they asked for Persona. Why are you guys voting long games in when there's a bunch of shorter games that you want me to play? I can see Kuma liking Catherine. Catherine Woodbody would be a really fun play for Kuma. So again, it is that one. When I say alignment, I mean law, chaos, and neutral, and there are usually alignment endings as well. We're talking about that 3x3, right? Chaotic neutral, chaotic good, chaotic evil, destructive. Evil. You know what I'm talking about? The Matrix chart, right? Are we talking about that? Because that's pretty funny. Right on the money, Kuma. Oh, multiple endings. Got me there. Sega. Man, Sega's still running strong. I mean, remember they had consoles back in the early 90s. Who would win battle between Virgil and Sephiroth? I'm a fan of both games. Well, I've only played Final Fantasy VII Remake, like Part 1 and DLC, so I don't know enough about Sephiroth. But I gotta say, Virgil's pretty fucking strong. So you would need someone pretty fucking demigod to rival that. You know what I mean? Because he's fucked some demons up in his time. I saw a video that got released yesterday that goes fairly deep dive into the timeline of Persona games, and it gets complicated. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Sonic is because of the 30th anniversary. Everyone's getting anniversaries these days. I would be happy if Neuro or Virgil got into Smash. Mate, if Neuro gets into Smash and Virgil doesn't, I'm going to smash something. Your alignment determines your endings. All endings are separate timelines or cycles of rebirth, which has to do with the name Shin Megami Tensei, which translates to true reincarnation of the goddess. So basically, depending on how I play, I'm going to go down a different timeline and get a different ending. Question, when they say different timeline, do they just mean the story kind of goes linear and then the characters interact differently and at the end you get good end or bad end, you know, which is a different of a cutscene? Or does this whole storyline itself branch out and we go down a completely different avenue of the type of quests that we do, the types of bosses that we do, and the type of story that happens? What I'm trying to figure out is, in terms of replay value, if I was to replay it, is it kind of like, you know, picking a different starter in Pokemon and the differences are minor because your rival has a different Pokemon and you might, you know, have slightly different things here and there? Or is it a completely different story altogether and I'm getting significant value from replays? So, you know, you're going to want to play the game multiple times. I should have probably used Fire Emblem Three Houses as an example, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. DMC music in Smash would be awesome. Will Kuma play Cameron full body? Again, it needs to be voted on. And the last time I had an open vote for games, Persona won. So they could have voted for Catherine full body, but Persona won. So what can I do? I love how Dante Me costume looks like beautiful Joe version. It's also mostly related to philosophy. Sorry, Kuma. I think that SMTV protagonist is the next DLC fighter. Does SMT even have a DLC character? Catherine is pretty short. Then why the fuck did they vote Persona? Because Persona's been chewing up the anime live stream slot for the past 2 years, and they could have voted in Catherine, literally. Like, Fab, tell them. You were there. Catherine is not a long game compared to Persona games. There are multiple endings. I get it. No one does that. But in SMT, they go for law, neutral, chaos. No law, neutral, or chaos law. Just the three. Fair enough. So you don't have the 9x9, but yeah. Something like that. It's more chaos demons, order god, neutral whatsoever. Okay. So 3 timelines? Like 3 storylines? So it's worth playing all 3? A bit like Fire Emblem Three Houses? Or is it just minorly different where you just play one and watch the cutscenes for the other ones? Death Battle actually did Virgil vs. Sephiroth. Yes, but was this before DMC5? That's the real question. SMT has an actual alignment system. You get way more free reign over how your characters deal with stuff to the point that in the end, you might not be the hero. Am I ever the hero? There's no good or bad end in SMT. It's just the end you yourself would get because of your choices. That would be fun. Your choices throughout the game affect what ending you will get. The choices you make tend to drastically change the direction of the story. That is good. It's more like a different version of the story. Complete different stories and different results. Now you're really making a sale. The branches of SMT are pretty significant. Different boss battles and dungeons and demons depending on what alignment you're on. Okay. Here are the names of the multiple SMT spin-offs. Last Bible, Devil Summoner, Soul Hacker, Thingo, Persona, Devil, Catherine! Wait, Catherine's a spin-off from What the... Okay, I'm not going to ask. It's because Persona is an amazing series while Catherine is a standout alone game. I mean, I get it, but you got to think of this tactically. You get to pick what game we play next. You really want both games to be played. But what's the way you pick? You pick the short one and then the long one. What everyone did was they picked the long one and then they're asking when are we playing the short one? And I'm going like, seriously? Kuma, you do realize how big Persona is compared to Catherine, right, lol? Yes, but at the time there were like 50 people voting. So like, that's on you. Since you have only played Final Fantasy VII Remake, will there be any more Final Fantasy games on your channel? I'm looking forward to Remake 2 and 16. Isn't 16 the MMO? So I'm going to play Remake 2, obviously. I played 13.1 and 13.2. I haven't played Lightning Returns. I would really like to actually finish that off. But in terms of when we're going to play other Final Fantasy games, it's a little bit like the situation with SMT and Persona in that we've currently got a backlog of action games we need to finish. Once that backlog gets cleared out, because we're still waiting on The Walking Dead and things like that, once that's cleared out, then the vote's going to come in as to what new games we're going to play. So stay tuned for that one. If you're not on Discord, highly recommend you're on Discord. Catherine takes about 10 to 20 hours to complete a route, and it's very easy to get the other ending so you can skip the gameplay. You guys should have voted Catherine. Catherine is something that doesn't relate to SMT. Then why did someone mention there's a spin-off? Kuma, the bigger name will always win. You should know this by this point. No, I like voting for the underdog. I always like to see the young underdog win over the big, gigantic Leviathan. Final Fantasy 16 is the DMC style Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII Remake was very hack and slash too. I liked it. Final Fantasy 16. I'll be honest, I don't know which one that is. There are no augments to made about Catherine being part of SMT Multiverse. Alright, then someone must have mixed it up. Yeah, SMT 4 is the best SMT game to try and get you into the series, though it is a 3DS exclusive. No problem there, I got a 3DS. There is also a sequel to... Wait, how the fuck would I link up a 3DS to a computer? I have a capture card, but does it have a HDMI port? It doesn't. I would have... Nintendo, you don't make it bloody easy. Also, there is a sequel to 4. It's not like 5 in the sequel. It's 4 titled Apocalypse. Will you ever play OG Final Fantasy 7 now that Final Fantasy 7R is a thing? I kind of want to finish R blind, and then I wouldn't mind going back to 7 if you guys vote for it. Other than SMT spin-offs, oh boy, I'm not going to remember these names. 16 is the next big entry. Seems to play more like DMC so far. 14 is an MMO. Right. I'll be honest, 16 was never on my radar, and no one's even mentioned it before you asking today. So I'll be honest. But got announced last year. Oh wait, so it's not released yet? Oh, okay. It is a spin-off of SMT, it just doesn't have anything to do with SMT. Okay, so it kind of uses the pre-established world of SMT and characters from it, just doesn't relate to the timeline in any way. That's the way I do it. Catherine is an IP of Atlas, like was Trauma Center. Did you ever react to the Final Fantasy 16? I think you would enjoy it. The recording stopped. Oh my god, the recording stopped. I don't have any more disk space. Ha-chan! Used all my disk space. Disk space is dead. Disk space is dead. Alright, guys. Given that the disk space is dead, I gotta end it here. Because I can't record anything. So, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed. I don't want to get this... Holy fuck, we've been doing this for an hour. Guys, it's been a blast. My lunch break is done. I gotta get back to work because I do a 9 to 5. We live stream every weekend on Twitch. If you're not aware, check the description. We have a Discord where we chat. If you're not, join it. LPs are edited out in 4K, but the live streams happen on Twitch in 1080p. So if you haven't been aware that we're doing streams, please join us if you can. We have a fuck ton of fun. Saturdays we do anime streams. Sunday we do action streams. Monday we do anime reactions. Don't miss out. Come join if you have time. We have a blast. It's nice to see everyone again. It's nice to have a video like this on YouTube. The reason why we moved is because YouTube kept hitting us with copyright claims and we couldn't stream. So I said, fuck that shit. And we moved over to Twitch and got partnered. And so we can stream as much as we want. So it's all good in the hood. I do hang out on Discord. I'm there very often. I'm there while I'm working because I can access it through my phone. So if you haven't, join the Discord. Literally, scroll down in the description. There's a link to the Discord. Join it. We chill there all the time. As I mentioned, we vote on video games that we play next. The vote does happen on Discord. So like all the details and answers to a lot of your questions are there. And I'm chilling there most of the time. So like just ping me in the general chat when I'm on. It's that simple. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Till next time, Ninja Kuma out.